You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Well, let me say officially welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. This is the program that brings you the information that you need. And we are here to provide the information that we have for you. And of course, we'll be having very interesting discussions tonight. If it all goes well, we're going to have a group from Liberia, the Cape Surf group, Surf, that's SURF, Surf. People who go on the water with something flat that they balance on and go on a wave of the water like that as the water go, and you know how the water can be rapping when waving. So some of you may not know what surfing means. It's like they stand on this flat thing like piece of plank or special boat, and then the water wave will take them, and then you know how the ocean can wave, right? It will take them and it will be sliding all that water, playing all kind of the thing called 30. I think that water on the 30 picking there. So called them 30 picking all the water. So if the time permits us, we'll be talking to them. They are having a very big event as we speak. It started today. And so the leader that we need to talk to might be busy, but he promised that he will be coming on the show. So we hope that you have the opportunity to appear and let him explain to us what they're doing in Cape Mount. And after that event, which is taking place now, it started today, it will continue tomorrow, Saturday, and then it will end on Sunday. After that, they're going to be doing a bigger thing. That is, other African countries will be coming to participate in that same competition. So it's going to be a big event for Liberia. But like I said, we're not too sure whether we're going to have him because, you know, he's the head of the group and today they started all of these things. So, but let's keep our fingers crossed that he will be able to come here and then we can hear from him what he's doing. And also, the biggest event in Liberia that everybody is talking about, much have been said about it on all the media institutions. Every Facebooker is writing something about it, and this is something that has been anticipated or expected for all these years since the end of our civil crisis. That is the establishment of War Crimes Code. And just in recent years, they added the other part of it, which is War and Economic Crimes Code. So that paper, that official document has been signed by the president of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, and before he left to go to the United States today. So that's the biggest news making headlines will be, we the panelists on the show will be making our own contribution towards that. We'll be telling you exactly how we feel about it, what it means to us. And so, but before we do that, let's take our musical break. When we come back, we'll be bringing on our other panelists, and as we try to give you the much needed information. So those are just few of what we'll be talking about tonight on the Bottom Line Liberia discussions, right?
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people who us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the us. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach in thee, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. For But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So
well, that was Takunche, the man who has become the household name right here on the bottom line Liberia discussions. But let's bring on our colleague Francis Mensah. Francis, welcome to the bottom line Liberia. You are now a stranger here. You are one of the producers here. So we say welcome to you. Yeah.
Linford, thanks. Thanks and for the show today, and we hope we'll have a fruitful discussion. How's the weather in your end?
Oh yeah, thank you for asking for the weather. 2 days ago we had snow when we should be almost midway in the spring. We had snow 2 days ago, and all of a sudden today it became 24 degrees plus. So can you imagine? It's a lot of sick people out here, and because the abrupt change of weather is like somebody keep you in the freezer, right? The freezing point of the freezer, and all of a sudden the person takes you from there and hang you all the fire and put more fire on you. So your blood is still cool, and then they make fire on you, then you start to sweat, so you get sick. So a lot of sick people out here, people coughing, sneezing, and running nose. But I think gradually we'll get used to it. But I think the spring has finally entered, and I don't know how you say in Sweden, but
it's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, my man.
Yeah, the information we're getting is that this summer is going to be one of the hottest summer in the record. On the record in Scandinavia. So we're looking forward to that. At least I will feel that spirit of Liberia, So we're looking up to that.
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah, man. The weather was cool. You had snow last weekend. Then on Monday we had a little bit of have +6, 7, 8, and yesterday, today is like hot when people taking off their Even in the morning you go to work, you have your fleece or a jacket or so. About coming home without put naked now, Yeah.
So yeah, this is a Scandinavian weather. You don't trust the thing we can't trust it. You can't trust us here. Sometimes you laughing on 1 minute and the next minute, moment we're not laughing again. We change.
I
So
know, right?
yeah, don't think we're mad, but that's us, the weather. But let me say welcome to you, Francis. And tonight we have the biggest news that everybody's talking about, and this is something that the entire Liberia has been wishing for. Somebody will say, "No, I was not wishing for it," but I think if you do a survey, honestly, you'll find out that maybe 80% to 90% of the Liberian people have been wishing for war and economic crime or war crimes, and the war crimes code was supposed to bring justice to this quote unquote 250,000 people who lost their lives sadly during the war. And those 250,000 people, every time they bring out this figure, I'm one of those who actually try to question it, whether it cannot be accurate though, because nobody was on the battlefront to see. Some women die, some people die with two in stomach, so people could not, count. But this is something like estimate or figure to work with in case we're working with something. So if we just want to drop back and give you a brief history of how this thing came into existence. The war started in 1989, and then late 1989, that is December 24, almost 1990. And of course, we all know what happened. The war progressed so fast. By July, the war was in Monrovia, the capital city. But before then, the war has been fought in the lead war counties, every part of Liberia. The war passed there. And so a lot of people died. And some of those people that died were not really fighting. Most of them were civilians, people running away. And somebody grabbed them and said, "My man, you look like the other kind of person here. Bam, they kill you. No judgment." The man who arrests you is the officer to arrest you. This man is the same man who will judge you. This man is the same man who will bear witness, whether you're right or wrong. And a lot of people died. And so people felt that they should have justice for the people who died. Almost everybody lost somebody in the war. If your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, or any of your close relatives didn't die, or close friend would die, or even if a close friend to you did not die, or relative of that close friend to you. So we all kind of lost somebody in the war, okay? And some people, the entire family died. So nobody will receive justice on behalf of them, okay? So, and this war lasted for 14 years. Initially, the war started between the NPFL and the AFL. Then came the INPFL, which was controlled by Prince Johnson. And then after the death of President Doe, and the war was still dragging on, ECOMO came, and other factions started springing up. But that war finished in the year 1995, 96. There was agreement that it should go to elections. And so the first elections but before the election, we have had several factions. Ulimo K, Ulimo J, and if you hear Ulimo K, it means Ulimo Kruma. It was one Ulimo, but then they had to break apart with Kruma. They let Ahachi Kruma leading one group, and then General Roosevelt Johnson leading one group. So then the Johnson faction was called Ulimo J, and the Kruma faction was called Ulimo K. At the same time, MPFL was there. Then the same MPFL split into half. Prince Johnson carried another group. So it was INPFL, meaning independent MPFL. So by that time, it was 5 factions. Then
Liberia Peace Council by George Bode came into.
Yeah, Liberia Peace Council by George Bode.
LPC.
Yeah, LPC. And they came as a revenge group. Then there was something that was formed in Liberia, which was called the Emosoil government, which was called the ICNU government, the INTG. Okay, so that government, for it to be protected, because the AFL was literally demoralized. So for that government to be protected, they had to also form something called Black Berets, okay, which was headed by Bani Samuka. So we have different kind of fashion. Anybody who could mobilize people, put them together, you get 1,000 or 100 people, 500 people, you become a warring faction, and you sit down the table. So there were several discussions to Akosomo, to Arukos, everywhere. There were a series of discussions. Abuja, several discussions were all around the place. And so, but howbeit that war ended, disarmament took place under the guidance of ECOMOG and the UN as well. And then they went to elections. Taylor won the elections, 1997. And then fast forward, 1999, another war started. Okay, and this time around, it wasn't the AFL, but it was two groups. One called Lord, and the other one called Model. And they came to remove Taylor. Because at the time now, Taylor was president. He wasn't warring fashion leader anymore. And so this, we just gave you a roundup of Francis. If I'm leaving anything, you can remind me. And our man guy to me is the bad guy. I don't know whether you're ready. We can bring you on.
Yeah, but I don't know. Was it on model or alert? I mean, it mean that what was, I mean, was 1989 or what? 1999
No, that
or what?
was 1999. I remember that. I remember that clearly. It was after elections when Taylor was elected in 97. It was 2 years after election that war started. The reason why I remember the time that the model war or the law war started was because I was in Sweden. I have just come to Sweden in July, and I was supposed to return, okay, in August the 8th to be specific. I have actually left the program that I came for. It was over on that Sunday. August 8th was on a Sunday. I have gone to the phone booth in Malmö to call to Liberia that I was coming, to call my man at my workplace. So when I called, they said, "But what are you coming to? You know, new war started just 2 days ago." I said, "What do you mean?" Then they started telling me that new war started, and so this is how I know that it was 1999. And then from there, they call it World War II. That war from 1999 continued until 2003. And then there was peace again. From there, 2005, the first major election was held, which brought in President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And by that time, they have already disarmed all the other new warring factions and all the old ones. ECOMO and the UN, something called it wasn't ECOMO anymore. It was UNMIL. They were in total control. So then, this is how they had the second elections, with President Sirleaf winning the election and Joe Barker, who is president today, being the vice president. And then the expectation was that, I mean, how the war started, who offered the war is not important in this whole discussions, but we're trying to give you how the whole war crimes could thinking about. And so during that time, I don't know specifically, because excuse me, viewers, when I say I don't know, not that I'm ignorant, but I wasn't in Liberia. That's why I keep saying I don't know. The TRC was established, and the purpose of the TRC was to find out who they were in the war, what part they play, what role they play, and what happened to them also. Okay, so everybody will come with their grievances and say, "Look, I fought the war, but because I was forced to fight the war, or people killed me and I wanted to also revenge, or I felt threatened and I wanted to, save my life." So that was the purpose. And people voluntarily, because I don't remember the TRC or any group, even UNMIL that was in Liberia, dragging anybody to the TRC to go testify. People willingly went to the TRC to testify. And most of the major players in the war testify at the TRC to clear that side. And then at the end of that TRC work, And if you don't know what the TRC means, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Okay, so people also will go tell the truth. After evening telling the truth, then they will reconcile. People will, talk. People will say, okay, yeah, we heard your side, but we still want justice, or we don't want justice. That was the purpose. And then the TRC came up with a series of recommendations. And one of those recommendations was that there should be a war and economic crimes established so that people who were bearing or who bore greater responsibility or responsibilities for the war should go and explain what happened to them, why they did what they did, if they did it indeed, and so forth. So this is how, since 2005, people have been struggling, and in fact, people felt that when President Salim wins the election, she was going to bring she was going to set up the War and Economic Crimes Code, which she didn't do. And then she ran 2 terms. That is from 2005 to 2016. Then, or 2017. Then George Weah came. When George Weah came, people felt that he was going to say, he in fact promised, saying that he was going to establish War and Economic Crimes Code, considering his role in the war, where he became peace ambassador. He also helped to disarm some of the warring factions. So people felt that he will bring this thing to closure, so that the victims and their relatives and families will have, final judgment, justice. He did not. And then came President Joe Biden in 2023 now, that he campaigned on it, that he will set up this war in economic crime. Now, the economic crimes part of it came very recently. It came very recently, but it's all being about war crimes code, war crimes code, war crimes code. Now, the economic bit is that people who have also been stealing from the Liberian people, they should also be judged. And this is how they combine all two to become war and economic crimes code. And so Joe Walker promised that he will do it. And all of a sudden, it has happened today. I know there were a lot of skeptics. There were people who believed that it would never happen. It was just one of the muff talks, so to speak, in Liberia, right? It was just one of the muff talks in Liberia. And I got 2 of the people who felt, right now on the show, who felt that this will not happen. It will just be one of the usual muff talks. Welcome, guy, to me.
Yeah, the Honorable Lin Fogwe. Good evening. Good evening, Francis. Mr. President,
yeah,
how are you?
Say honorable. I feel honored. But let me say, welcome to the show, guy. And for those of you watching us, all you need to do is just click the like button if you follow us on our website, or wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from Chala TV or wherever, please try to share the show to your friends, invite your friends, so that we'll have a meaningful discussion here. Yeah, but Guy, welcome. The biggest news.
Yeah, thank you. So the viewers also, the program is currently live on our radio, the online radio.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're busy, you're in your office or wherever you are and you cannot follow the show online, you can just follow us from the app. And then also you catch up with things. Guys, I'm doing pretty good. Just that the change in weather has gotten me locked down with the flu. But I'm fighting it the African way. Ain't no say an African man, so I'm dealing with it small. But I'm good. How you guys doing?
Well, for me, I'm great. I guess Francis is great as well.
Yeah, I'm doing.
My man, Francis.
Doing well.
Francis,
I'm great, man. Yeah, everybody, kind of. Yeah.
Our man has become victorious. So the man will block out with the jazz down there, my man.
Yeah. By way of information, for those of you watching us, you see that we're only 3 here today. Jima is kind of busy. Jima Kamara is busy, and Paul Lord Chilope, the man one of these people who I was the only person. I was challenging 4 people here on this chat. On this platform, that this thing will be signed. They said no, it cannot be signed, and I don't blame them when they felt that it will not be signed. And the reason is because greater things are happening. Like bro, we talk about it, we promise that we'll do this, and nothing can happen. muff talk. So everybody was like, this is just one of the usual muff talk, especially when it's in the realm of government, when it's in the power of the president to do it. If the president decided that he will not do it, what will we do? We get to, we sit down. But this time, God being on our side, and indeed the spirits of those people who died want justice. So the president has signed and approving the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code through an executive order number 131. So, guys, the deal is done. The document is signed. What's next?
I mean, one next, I think, is the execution. And, there are a lot of things to put into place. The signing is one aspect. The setting up of all those institutions that will be responsible to carry out the mandate or the War and Economic Crimes Code. I did not read the document, the what you call it, the executive order, but I think it's just it still gave a green light to the actors who for our partners to come and take charge and have us implement this all important war and economic crimes code. So President Boyka will be in the annals of will be reminded in the annals of the history of setting up this code. What his predecessors didn't do. I mean, he mustered the courage to do that. So, yeah, we see it's the one step forward, and I hope that we can take so many steps, in similar direction.
Good. Guy, do you have any thought about it? Is established
I
already?
mean, like Francis said, the rest of the things we look at now is the implementation. So we all anticipated, in some ways, we were hopeful, and some other people were also having some doubts in the process. But President Bueka has mounted the courage to make sure that those who committed atrocities and genocide do not go with impunity. So it's a step forward, and at this time, he will be seen as an icon of peace, an icon of justice as well. So people still look up to him. It's not the finishing part of it yet, so people still look up to him to do the continuous process, all of the other protocols that are involved, all of the other setting up that are involved. Example, it is the War and Economic Crime Code, but getting those parties involved, you need your other international partners as well. They have given you their words as well. So working together to make it come to an end is something we hope for, we look forward for. But this is the first step, and everybody waited for it. Now President Boyka has done it. It's a plus for him. It's a plus for Liberia. It's a plus for those families, that lost their families unnecessarily. When you take a look back, people during the war, I mean, there were no rules in the war. Like you said the other day, we had a little disagreement here on the platform, which we normally do. Yeah, people kill people innocently for no reason. There were no rules of engagement. So now that some of those people, they are still alive. Some of them, in fact, are in government. So they can come and exonerate themselves, or they pay for whatever they have cost. So I want to say congratulations to Liberia and also to President Boyka.
Okay, so but let's welcome a couple of people here. Ishmael Habib Rahim is watching us from Germany, I guess, and also we have Joseph Colley. I got a friend, former workmate called Joseph Colley, but I don't know whether it's him. And then we got Kennedy Kamara, we got Manu, Bakamani, Higgins. So, but guys, we urge you to share the show and invite your friends, and we're going to have a candid discussion. And like we said, if time permits, or if the guys in Liberia from the South Club will have the time, they will be appearing on the show tonight to tell us what they're doing. But we're talking about a major thing that all Liberians have been talking about, and that's the biggest news that is making headlines in Liberia. Let me tell you, even if our clear oil fall down, it will not be news in Liberia right now compared to the signing of the War Economic Crimes Code. But let's look at certain things about the signing of this War Economic Crimes Code. Yeah, for me, the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Code, yes, it's important. It's really, really important. But there are things in there that I want us to look at because, like you said, the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Code is just one phase of it, but the implementation phase, how will it work? What will happen? Those are the things now Liberians will be asking, because the first thing is people tend to be a little bit jittery. People tend to be a little bit doubtful when they hear that this War Economic Crimes Code thing will start, and then some of the questions that people started asking was, where will it be for security reason? Okay, because maybe the people who were supposed to appear before the War Economic Crimes Code, maybe they got people supporting them, they will disturb the whole thing. But again, if you always afraid of the snake, you will never kill one, because you know that snake can bite people, right? So when you see it, even if it's a dead snake, you'll be afraid of it, and you just go. Even if it is attacking you, you run away. And if you can't make it, then it will bite you. So you have to face a snake one day, whether it will bite you or not, but at least face it and have the courage that you can face a snake that is attacking you. So there are things in there that I want us to look at, and the prints on the screen, they are very small. For a lot of you have seen this thing, a lot of you have read this document, but it's a very large. The very last page, it's a 4-page document, I want to believe. It's the very last page where it talks about what the code itself is supposed to do. And I want us to look at some of what's supposed to happen. The print on the screen, you cannot read it myself. I cannot read it from there, but I will read it from my phone. I will try to look at it individually and see how we can discuss some of what we expect from the War and Economic Crimes Code. I'm sorry that Paul is not here tonight. Paul is one man who have been very enthusiastic about this. In fact, Paul, even at one point, Paul believed that it will not happen. And so, according to him, he had bought his Jack Daniel, and they want Jack Daniel, we can't hear out here. But today, this thing is signed. Now it becomes history. So let me go to that part and see if I can read it. Okay. After, please bear with me. Like I said, the prints are very small. Now, it says the Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court will be headed by an executive director who shall be an astute lawyer of impeccable character, knowledgeable in the Liberian constitutional and criminal law, and capable of working with the international community in the formulation of the mechanisms, procedures, and processes attending the establishment of the War Crimes Court and an anti-corruption code for Liberia. Further, the office of the executive director shall be assisted by a secretary and a core of highly professional legal minds, with such other officers and consultants as shall be required to effectively carry out the duties and tasks assigned to the office. The office shall, in addition, have the following responsibilities, and this is where I'm interested. The responsibilities of the court. Okay, we know who will head the court. It will be headed by a lawyer who is very knowledgeable of the Liberian law. Okay, so let me just remove this. So, but what would be the duties of the court? What would this court be doing? Will it just go and grab John Brown and say you are fighting war, can't go? Will it be in the villages chasing all the boys that are fighting war? Or will it be in the city chasing George Bullet and Prince Johnson there, someone there? So let's hear what the court will do. So, A, the first duty of the court. A, the court will conduct research and studies and growing therefrom, and in consultation with the international partners, select a model of an international tribunal for war crimes, including the jurisdiction and statutes of the Special War Crimes Code for Liberia, consistent and in harmony with international models that have been used for similar trials of war crimes. Guys, this is the first responsibility of the court. The court here did not establish it, so they with Liberian lawyer there. So that the lawyer was somebody will come out of darkness and say, my man, you know the war, everything all inside, then you want to carry me, so you gotta have mercy on me. But it said it will be in consultation with our international partners. And then they will model it, they will set it up. You know, first is, I think I'm talking too much about giving guys chance to talk. You know, our old people say you can apply the new mark on the old one. So they say they put here, they will model it or they will set it up to look like other international war crimes code that have been carried out before. So it will not just be something new. They will say, okay, in Rwanda, this is what they did, or in Bosnia, the Serbian war, this is what they did. That ended military down there. So they will compare it to all ones that have worked effectively, and then it will be that. So what do you think?
No, but it's it should be after they start all these things. What concerns me mostly after the research conducted and studies and growing them, it could be they will select a model of international tribunal for war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that model could be the Palawa Hut. It could be the bygones, so that bygone be bygone. So we do not know. So we may all be hoping that it should be a court set up wherein people will come and get a count. We'll have witnesses. People will be. There would be. A judge based upon evidence that brought against them. So I dare hope that would not end up with the Palawa Hut approach or style of adjudicating war crimes. So that's it. And but it will require a massive manpower, a whole range of staff, administrative, researchers. I mean, this will take. It's gonna drag on for at least 5 years. I mean, so I see it going. Because you have to have evidence that will literally what you call it convict the persons. Yeah.
But guy, what do you think? What the way they're describing how this war crimes code will be, the modeling, and then the function, it got to resemble other war crimes tribunals that have been set up in other parts of the world that were effective. So, do you have any doubt?
Yeah, Linford. That's one of my doubts because something I read before, each of the countries establishing the war crime code has, yeah, the international community present to you a format, but each of these countries has their own judicial system and the way they wanted to prosecute these people. But now the international community are asking them to follow their own way, so that they can have their days in court in a proper manner, in the legal way. And the thing here is to follow that. Where you read, one of the areas you read is it also pointed to a review of the TRC process, the failures from the TRC process, the recommendations, the way the legislators interacted and, behave in the process. They want to look at all of those things. And that's where the fear comes from, or the doubt. Because at the end of the day, we do not want, like Francis said, we do not want a roundtable, palaver, hot discussion, or we do not want a compromise where it will end up and say, let bygone be bygone, for peace sake, we've passed that. Liberia is gravitating to some level of development to compete with international standards and her team around her. In the Mano River Union Basin, in ECOWAS, Liberia should be competing with their judicial system, with their legislative system, including their governance. You see? So those are things, it's a whole long process, I think, because they need legal researchers, they need experts in international criminal crimes, they need so many other professionals to come and join the team. And all of these people must also have legal mindset. So Liberia is still far away from that, but at least we have gotten the first step. We concluded on that. And what I think that we can do as the public is to also start to encourage these people, build a different mindset with them. Look, we know you fought the war, we know you contributed in the war, but do not hesitate to go and explain yourself. It's going to help the process. So the public also need to play their own role into this thing. We also how Sierra Leone did theirs, Rwanda did theirs. Liberia can do it. We can do it gradually. We are. It depends on us to complete it.
Okay, let
So
me just hold you right there and ask you this question. You just mentioned Sierra Leone, right? Our own former president is in jail for the Sierra Leone war instead of the Liberian war. Now, so there's fear about, we hope it will not be like a palaver hot thing. Now, the people are saying, actually, what we're reading is not what the War Crimes Code will do, but what the Office of the Executive Director will do. Okay? And that will lead to the proper functioning of the War Crimes Code. So let's just get that one straight. This is not the total work of the War Crimes Code yet, but it's just what the Executive Director office will do to set this whole thing up. But let's look at Sierra Leone. What if the because that's the nearest to us. That's the nearest event and country to us. So if the Liberian people say, let's follow the Sierra Leonean model, because there are people in jail for the Sierra Leonean, war crimes. So do you think that would satisfy, or that would bring some form of justice, instead of going and say, oh no, let's say that under the Palawa Hut, that at least we see people going to jail for their part, the role they play in the war in Liberia, following the Sierra Leonean model, if they use it?
Look, the Sierra Leonean model, the Sierra Leonean process was one of the most stringent processes I've seen. Look, they did not give room of what you call it, sympathy for who committed crimes. They were barred from holding public offices, they were, I mean, their lives were strictly streamlined. So, I mean, they could only live as ordinary citizens. They couldn't be in parliament. That see most of the people enjoy the privilege of being a parliamentarian in Liberia. Public public related offices and jobs. I mean, these people in the Sierra Leone case, I mean, they were stripped of everything. All the amenities, whatever they have. The only thing they were left with were the human rights. But much of that they were put in jail. So those who managed to escape once you participated in the war, you did not have the privilege of doing anything but just to live as an ordinary citizen and work, but you couldn't hold permanent position in Sierra Leone. I think we should go into that direction. That will help us. Though it's a little bit too late, most of the real actors are old men now. They have enjoyed the benefit of the war, and post-war, matter of fact, so yeah, but anything in that direction would be welcoming.
And Linford, Francis
Mm.
just reminded me, right? Francis just reminded me. It was very, very stringent. I read a newspaper because after the establishment of their court, I worked there 2 times in 2014 and 1 time in 2015. So I remember they even made recommendations, other than the major factors and contributors to the war. They have people who were harboring these people as well. So the recommendation went as far as to those people that the government that will take over must make sure that they can rehabilitate these people, they can refine them, you can make them new people for society. But until then, they will not do certain things in the Sierra Leone community. So we can do the same. And these are things that the TRC was bent on. They closed their eyes on these things because it would have helped the process. Today, we wouldn't have been talking about establishing war and economic crimes code. The TRC had gone to the fullest of its mandate. We wouldn't have come this far. You see, I remember a guy because
Let me interject quickly. The TRC report was very clear. It was unambiguous. The fact was that the political actors, the shenanigans of what they were trying to do. I mean, because look, the TRC basically emulated some of the reports, their findings, the conclusion from the Sierra Leone process and the Rwanda process. And most of the people at the time, they were either in bed with the ruling party or any who wanted political support from these people, so our hands were tied, and so they were even empowered. They came to try to crush, to condemn the TRC report, but the TRC report had all the recommendations there is there, that these people should be barred from holding public offices. Everything is there in the TRC report. It's a long report. It's a very lengthy report. But again, the president at the time wanted the support, the patronage. So so she downplayed, and she created, and in fact, she emboldened a lot of them to come out and even casting or denounce the TRC report. Yeah, I mean, like this woman. That's the lady now. It was a fight for power, authority. Jerome Verder was there. And we had Alexia Kafuma Kone. They had Mohammed Masekwe. They most to be the marketing association president, and some other people. John Stewart. All these people. So it was a fight. Everybody wanted their voice to be heard. So depending on what we started leaning on. God, I know. So Yeah, no, I just wanted to know to correct something,
Yeah,
not
no,
to
no,
correct, but just
no,
to
you are
check.
right, Francis. You are right. But for me, I was only trying to differentiate the the focus of the Sierra Leoneans from the Liberian people. So they kept their mindset. Our mindset is to prosecute these people. Come what may,
Yes.
we will prosecute them. But for us, I think we did not build that mindset.
They were in one accord. So as the people were they were driven to persecute these people. But we have plenty of views.
Yeah,
Secret from my corner was from the Dingo group. Yeah, he
the,
thought the learn or you limo came to liberate the other people. So they at the end of the day, yeah, they tend to trash the TRC report and try to riddle it with points. Like Prince Johnson, even he said, a lot of things in the report that did not even they use it, even the John Stewart and her name. What's the
Massacre,
more?
massacre.
Massacre, right? The
Yeah.
marketing association president on the door.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's not massacre.
No. Yeah, it's I just forgot her name. She's massacre also, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, sure. Marketing president on the door. I remember that name.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just forgot her
Francois,
name.
Francois.
No,
No,
Francois a man. He
No,
died.
Francois is a
Francois
man.
was a
He
man.
from Taylor.
He was with
Francois
Taylor
from
later
Taylor.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, later on he became Lofa defense or something. But
Yeah.
yeah.
guys, to call long matter short, this thing have been signed. So they just what we're reading here is just what the office of the director, executive director of the War and Economic Crime School will be doing. So the first one is that they'll make research and they'll do a lot of studies, and then from what they will find out, they will select a model to set up the War Crimes Code after. Then the second function of the executive director's office will be to liaise, that is to work in line with the international community or international partners in sourcing the funding for the special war crimes code. Now, every time we talk about this thing, the part one of the biggest thing people can talk about is the money. Oh, like brother get money, the people when get money don't want set of war crimes code, and that has been some of the excuses that people who do not want this thing to come have been finding. But this time, we've gotten commitment from some of the international partners. Okay, let's throw it squarely in the laps or on the shoulders of the United States government because we've heard the global crimes. A lady responsible for that. She was in Liberia 2 different times, and she's made some commitment that the U.S. is willing to support. Then Alan White is a lobbyist, and he's promising that they will work. The U.S. will work with Liberia. That means he's going to be on the forefront. Something he did for Sierra Leone, and several other high-profile people in the U.S. government have said that the U.S., at least for now, that we know. Who knows whether France will come on board? Who knows whether Germany and all the other countries will come on board? But there must be funding and so funding for this process because it's very heavy. A couple of weeks ago, we heard just in the grapevine that it could be set up in Ghana and certain amount of money have been earmarked or set aside. So if this is the case, guys, uh, this document is saying that the office of the executive director of the War Crimes Code will be working along with the international partners to find money for it. Is that good news? Does that mean that Liberia does not have to even worry about getting the money to support the whole thing?
Linford, honestly, I would say yes. And listen, the West is keen on these kind of issues. So come what may, they will put the money there for it. Trust me, Liberia or having flooding or other natural disasters, it will take time to raise money to support Liberia. But for this process, they won't make the history as well. They won't have the clean hands. So they will definitely do what they can do. Other than that, most of the other colonial masters and today they see China, Russia and other people are having interest in Africa. So these are things that come along in their own international geopolitics so that they can make their own, they can score their own points. You see? But I'm concerned first with us as Liberian when it comes to this code issue. Now, when you go to one of the sections in the document sent by the president and signed by him, in the third part where it says on page 2, where it says whereas, when you read there, he did mention that in as much as our penal code does not give us that clear knowledge and right on establishing a war crime code. This is where my point comes from. We saw these things happening, in fact, quite recently. A major factor, a popular name in this whole war crime code issue, had always used one phrase to instill fear in the people. My concern here is, does the court have, or will they also try to educate the public? Because I saw Sierra Leone doing the same thing. I'm always referencing Sierra Leone because their process was unique. You know, we need to educate the public. We need to educate the people. Go down in Grangida County, go down in Nimba County, where some of these great atrocities were committed. Go there and tell the people, because our people nowadays, it's easier for people don't understand processes and they just tell you anything about it. Witch hunt, witch hunt. That's one of the major words that would, or sentences that would be used. So
But guy, if you look at the first one we read, they talk about the office of the executive director will have to do research, and I think that will be part of their research. What are those things that the people are using against this war crimes code, and what are those things that we can use for the war crimes code to succeed? So when they make their research, then they'll do studies as well. So I think yeah, it's correct. Your fear. Okay, Peter is here. Yeah, your fear is right. And okay, Peter. I think yeah. Welcome, Peter. Help us to share the show.
Okay, folks, if
Peter,
you're
I know where you're
following,
watching from. If you're watching from Memorial, Liberia, help us to share the show. But God, your fear is right, and what you're saying is correct. But I think that will be part of the work, that because the thing is, the executive director that they're going to appoint for this thing is a Liberian, and he had legal mind. According to them, he should have legal mind of the Liberian constitutional and other thing and legal practice. So then he's not somebody from somewhere else. He knows what the propaganda that the people have been using against the war crimes code. Like for instance, oh, it's a wish hunt. So they too will counteract it and make sure that people can understand. So I think your recommendation is good, that there should be massive education about this thing to inform the people, or else people will still misinform them and people will take it to be like a witch hunt, like you said.
it
Okay.
could even create another conflict, Linfo.
The
Entire establishment of war crime code, it has, without educating the people, it has the propensity to create conflict.
Yeah, but also, you're right. Again, let me repeat, you're right. One of the major tasks of this or executive director or whatever commission we'll call it should be to carry out proper education and let the people know, because the little Yapalo who down there, who was just 10 years old or 7 years old, they get him going inside 40, maybe he warlord will come to you and say, oh, when they catch me, they can't catch you too. Then Yapalo will be afraid. Yapalo will join the bush, then we will have another Yapalo incident. But where the people go and say, no, you Yapalo will know you fought. You won't come from America, you won't come from nowhere, you won't even know the gun you're using, you won't even know how you're getting the shot. You won't know, you're not responsible for it. We're looking for the people who responsible, people who gave you that gun. They're the one who want to answer questions. Then I think there will be some degree of assurance, for those little ones down there. Okay. Okay. Peter, okay, this is a Peter that. So Peter, what you do, the link I sent you. The link I sent you, I think Peter is listening to us, but he's not in the chat room. So It's not on the live. The link I sent you, check your WhatsApp. I sent you a link. You just click on it. Once you got go internet, you click on it, it will direct you, it will tell you what to do, and then you will enter where we are now. You will be in the studio. We'll see you right away, Peter. So we hope you guys had a successful competition. Well, that's the head of the surf group club, the surf club in Liberia, and he's supposed to be our guest here tonight. So Peter, we can try to see if you can join us. Okay, but guys, even if we don't complete this thing tonight, we'll continue it because that's the biggest topic for the week. But let's go to the third thing here. It says the executive director office will draft legislation, that means law, for the establishment. So this is going to be a long process, I agree, for the establishment of the anti-corruption code for Liberia. This is a part 2 to it because the war crimes code, they're now they talk about anti-corruption code. That's the war crimes, I mean the economic crimes part of it. Okay, taking into full consideration jurisdictional configurations, which shall be separate and distinct from those ascribed to other current criminal codes in Liberia, capable of addressing all forms of corruption cases connected to and growing out of the Civil War, as well as corruption committed during the governance of the Republic subsequent to the Liberian Civil War and to the subsequent to the Liberian Civil War. Now you see, this document is trying to make things complicated. If you listen to what it's saying, okay, subsequent, prior to, subsequent and prior to. Well, are they going to go back to? They are not using the word prior to it. They are only using the word subsequent. So that means after the Liberian Civil War, people who benefited during the Civil War, who allegedly committed economic crimes during the Civil War, and then subsequent after that. So it's making it complicated to the point where they will have to start from the wartime to after the wartime. So, and they say the law that this executive committee, this executive director office will draft to prosecute the economic criminal should take into consideration the configuration which shall be separate and distinct from the current criminal codes or criminal laws that we have on the books in Liberia. So I don't know how they're going to do it. They're going to sweep aside some of the criminal laws that we have on the book in Liberia right now, and they start and draft new law. So like you guys said, it's going to be a long process, and we're hoping to see it. But at least something is happening. So let's go quickly to the. I don't know if you want to comment on that. Then we can move to
yeah. Let me say something towards that. When you read it, also it says there should be an established after this process. When this court tenure comes to an end, there should be an established court specifically for war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
that
economic
means
crimes.
yeah, that means example. In the diaspora, Linford has lived here 50 years, 60 years, and while they're having this economic and war crimes, you are a victim of the war. But then you did not get justice during this process when the court tenure is already over. So when you want justice, you can go to that court and say, look, my family has all the evidences that JK B or whoever committed this. They came to our yard, they slaughtered our parents, they did this, and so forth. But you did not call them. So we want justice. You can seek justice through the court.
Okay.
So I think for me, I don't see any contradiction or anything very misleading.
I think the thing is that, like most documents, it's good to read it 2 to 3 times. Because the very first time you read it, it might be different. It might be
It must have different interpretation.
Yeah, so when you read it gradually, I mean, I promise you, I'm gonna read this thing like at least 5 times, so get the understanding of it. Because look, I know that one good thing in Liberia, we are not shut up lawyers. That's the most prestigious or prevalent profession. Everybody graduate from the but we got so many lawyers we got so many lawyers in our country that they do not they are more than the cases that we have. So we have lawyers to do the work. And the problem is that the uh, sentiment should be put aside. When we want to do a professional work, we have to do professional. But the lawyers know what to do. So I mean, it's part of the training, it's part of the education. So, I heard you trying to you're relating to war laws going back home to the people and telling them, we're going to get back to you. I think the essence of the war camp is of this code is to signal out and persecute those who bear the greatest, responsibility of the war,
Mm.
and even for soldiers too. You know, we have some level of reprimanding. They'll be reprimanded as at a certain point at the case once you have evidence against them. So I just want to sum up that there should be no reason to fear. This process is a healing process. People will be hurt, but we Liberians think this is what's it's a means or avenue that will catapult us to a more serene, a more reconciliatory community, because everybody claim to see that the community, our progress hinges on the establishment of the World Economic Ground Code. So I hope that the benefits will flow after this code is established.
Hmm. Okay, then we'll go to the fourth thing. One of the responsibility, it says, the office. I'm just paraphrasing, right? The office of the executive director will recommend the scope and duration of the Special War Crimes Code for Liberia after due consideration or consultation with funding partners and other considerations necessary to the existence and operations of the code. But of course, you're not going to do anything with the exclusion of the partners. No, because they didn't want giving the money. So everything you do, you gotta consult them. But guys, it means that the office of the executive director will not just go and set up the duration and say, okay, the code will last for 1 year or 2 days. Okay, they are doing in consultation with with the international community who will be providing the money and other expertise.
But this person will be a very powerful person, yeah?
Yeah. And then if we
Because I
go to the
mean,
second, if we go
yeah,
to
because they gave him he has a lot of authority,
yes,
bestowed upon him. So he has to be a very
imagine,
powerful person in the country.
yeah, imagine the guy is going to set up a court that will be responsible for economic crimes, but it will be separate and it will have separate power and distinction between it and the codes and the laws that we have on the criminal codes books right now in Liberia. So it'll be very special. But let's read this one. It says, recommend any other means by which the special code or special war crimes code for Liberia can be uh, expeditiously established. Okay, so if they try to establish it this way and it's not working, people try to bring bottleneck, then they can recommend. You see, like you said, first it's very important thing you said. The guy is powerful. That he can even say, okay, no, we have tried this means it's not working, so let's try it this way. And it will be considered. Okay, then let's go to the other 1.3 that says the mandate, duration, tenure, and operations of the Office of War and Economic Crimes Code shall come to an end and cease to function upon the full establishment, functioning, and coming into effect, that is operational or operations of the Special War Crimes Code for Liberia and the Anti-Corruption Code. Now, this one, I want us to comment, I want to say something about it. They say the time the guy will be working, the officer will be working, is the time leading to the point where the code has been established. It is now functional. It is working. People are going to court and be judged. All the charges are in place. Everything is there. Then their work will come to an end. But the question I want to ask is, we do know, because nobody knows so far the duration. There is no point, there is no timeline. It's not anything here to say, okay, this code will work for only 5 years. Or this executive director office will work for 5 years. They are saying their job will come to an end when everything is over, when the code is now functional. So I want to be, look at Liberia being Liberia, where the president has absolute power. We are seeing that if you look at it, Francis, if I'm wrong, tell me, guy, if I'm wrong, tell me. We are seeing that what the man they giving this guy, where he's saying that their tenure will come, this particular executive director tenure will come to an end when the code is functional now and operating. So what if it takes 10 years? And then we know that in Liberia, presidents can come and temper with, because this sound to me now like tenure position, right? That nobody can move this guy until the work that he's commissioned to do is over. So what if President Walker moves and then another president comes? Are they going to move this guy, or can they change him? Because no president can temper with tenure position, because this thing sounds like tenure position to me.
It is. And the thing is that, Olinfo, you said it right. I mean, your doubts on the administration, the administrator of that court, or so to speak, may be jeopardized when a new government comes into play. Given the fact that we know that a lot of money will be, put into that court, and that guy or whoever it is will be paid handsomely, because to diffuse or dilute his partiality and whatever he has, to make him independent, So a lot of money will be poured into that court, into that position. And we know from experience all the time, political, shift in the political arena in Liberia, the landscape is based on partisanship. So if that position is very lucrative, people will be fighting for it. Trust me, I believe what you say. If it does not get hit, the formulation and establishment within the time frame on the president presidency, definitely he or she will be removed, because it's our time to eat. I may be eating a long time, so that person might take over. Yeah, So you're right.
So maybe guy get different view, because if you read that thing, number three there, it says that this car, his job will only come to an end when the code has been set up and is functioning, and at least, paraphrasing, at least we can see people going to court and then defending themselves, some people being convicted and things. And everybody now, they know now that this code is functional, then they say, my man, your job wanna move from there. So, but then this paper does not give this guy time frame to work in you got 5 years to work, or you got 2 years to work. So make sure that everything you have to do be done that time. So they just gave me open air. They say the only time your job will finish is when the code has started. So the guy, he could do one thing today and wait for 2 years before he do another thing, because he's taking pay, right? Like Francis said, you'll be paid very handsomely. So
So exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
so then
Linford.
it might prolong it, and then another government can, and that government might not even be in favor of war crimes code. They say, "My man, we're moving you. In fact, we're dissolving the whole thing." So what will
Yeah,
happen?
yeah, yeah. So the skepticism, for me, I'm looking at it from two different points. I support what Princess said, and then also I'm looking at the person being a Liberian. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah, exactly. So when I say the person being a Liberian, we already know. But one good thing about it is, I hope it will be somebody very high level minded legal person, very professional, who has also shown good legal characters, in the Liberian justice system. And also, I don't see much of a fear, because I want to believe that whoever comes into that position in that administration will not have any interest, or should not have any interest. You know, nobody to protect, nobody to guide other than the Liberian people. So, by the fact that you will find somebody of such character and caliber, then the next government may not have any reasons to say, okay, we want to be skeptical that this guy is delaying the process. Yeah, that skepticism can mean that the person could delay the process. Example, like we all suggested earlier on, it's in the recommendation. He's going to do research, legal research, and things like that. So, what if other courts' legal research has lasted for only a year? And the brother say, okay, I'll take the first 7 years to do legal research. And what if they pay him maybe $50,000? Per month? So the guy take only research to just accumulate almost 500,000 just to do research, and the court has not even had its first hearing yet. But I think also the court is going to be guided by some international, bodies. So I think it's going to run fast. I want to believe. I want to be hopeful.
What do you guys think? Should they should this executive order, because it's executive order that was issued, should this executive order give that executive director of the War and Economic Crimes Court office a time frame to work in, to avoid all of these skepticism about, oh, the man wasting time, or the man working too fast? No, because definitely if you do give these people time frame, they might be wasting time. You know, like guy said, the man will take 1 whole month to visit one country, and then the rest, they say the data that we collected from the country will stay steady here. Then 2 year pass, then they go to one country, and we got 15 countries. So 2 years will be going to 30 years. All the people will die. All the people that's going to go will die, and will not get anything in return. So, do you think, considering all this fear and thing, do you think they should give them time limit to work in?
Well, I think it could be yes or no. If you want a more efficient, organized structure, you can give them a free hand. But again, when you think about the economic aspect of it, if you have a budget, but particular budget, you have to operate within that scope. Let's say hypothetically you have let's say a $25 million budget to operate within 5 years. So he has to operate within 5 years. Otherwise, I mean, there'll be no other money coming after 5 years. So I sure the partners will they themselves will come up with certain kind of guidelines, in terms of the duration, how to go about it. It might be shorter, but I think they should if you want this thing to come to kick off the ground quickly, they must have a deadline. If you give
Yeah,
him a free hand,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because if you get them free hands, yeah, they're working. You can't say they're not working, but then how fast are they working? Like you employ me to do a piece of job, you say, my man, you are employed, go well. Oh, when I start? When I end?
They shouldn't do it the European way, on the Swedish way, and then the Norwegian do the same thing. They build one road, they to go. It will take more than 2 years, build one small leaf,
one small gas
take
station right
profit.
opposite.
Francis, listen, I got a neighbor, right? At my old house. I have a neighbor. He's from Azerbaijan. So the guy said, so he just got driver lessons few months now. So then he's asking me, so he's not fluent in German. He's asking me, like, he want to explain to me why there is always a roadblock somewhere, construction there, it can be removed. So he's asking me if I have the knowledge on why. And I'm there with my open mind. I'm like, oh, the people developing, we pay taxes here and so forth. He said, then he pointed to one of the road close to our house. He said 3 years ago, they started that project. He has not end. Then he was telling me, he said, you know what? He said, who's selling the oil around here? Who's selling other products for automobiles? I said, yeah, the government running some of it, private businesses. He said, the politics and our business. He said, the more the car is still on the road, the how these things will be sold.
No, actually, it's true. But again, like right opposite me here, there's a small gas station there, Shell gas station. I don't know. I know that I think, or what kind of thing the men want to bury there. I don't know. But it ran a curve. A lot of they get a pizza place around the other side, the gas station here, and the road there in the middle of the town. They made them brought big excavator, my man. You see the pipe out the excavator, small place that you and my second digging 2 days. And you know how long they've been there? They've been there for almost 3 weeks now. So after that, you're driving, I look at it, I say, well, they see hole, they hole being here all the time. Okay, because it was snowing, maybe. But yeah, they see hole, they see, and they're not doing nothing. And the guy was sitting nothing and started hole, they get there. So, and their excuses that, the weather is bad. So they do it by time. When they're building one small piece of road, they got to put a winter thing and then they wait for the summer to the spring to come and they put a spring under thing,
Live for 7 years. For 7 years, I know a construction in my city. It just got up to 80% finishing phase last month.
Oh, well, if the drill file will be happening again, new contract. So, but you see, I think again, Francis struck a good point that if we want the process to be transparent, we want it to be well structured, then we got to give them some time to work. But again, I would still recommend to the government to give them time frame. And if they can't work within the time frame, then they will now come and say, oh, we've done so, we've done 50%, 20%, 10%, or 80%, but we need more time. But you get like be like that, I say, go work. Man, yeah.
Bro, a lot of people do it NGO way. The NGO give you that money, they give you time frame, they tell you what to do.
Yes.
If you work within that time, the money finish, you got to apply again for new project.
Yeah,
but new donor funding.
But the thing is, if you do get a time, they're working. You can't say they're not working, but then how fast are they working? So, I think there should be some time attached to this thing, time frame attached to this thing, so that it will be speeded. Now, let's look at the Sierra Leone thing. The Sierra Leone war finished almost just about the time that Drone War was finishing. How long did it take? It took a few years, and then people are going to court for Sierra Leone. Okay, when did Taylor go? Taylor went to court in 2005, 6. Okay, so can you imagine? So it wouldn't take that long. Once the funding is available. We will be any soon. Will be any soon. We got actually a tip from a guy who is supposed to be our guest tonight, but one of what he wrote here, according to a message that he put on the board, he said he just came from the arrangement that they had today. And let me just give a background. The Liberia Surf Club or Cape Surf Club, they have arrangements. They are doing surf competition starting from today, tomorrow, and Sunday they'll be closing. And this is the leader that we want to talk to. And we actually got in contact with him yesterday. He consented, but he also warned me that he will be very busy, so he will find time to come. And then he just came and said, "Oh, hello, Peter is here. Sorry for being late, and just came from the competition." So that's the message he wrote, and I told him where to go to join, but I don't see any sign. I tried to call his phone, he's not taking, so probably he got problem with connection or something. But the biggest part of this thing I really want to talk about is that this will put Liberia on a map. And for those of you who don't know what the surfing thing is, that the water tide beginning, they can stay also on a flat boat and a wave of the ocean as it's going down, picking them up and carrying them, playing 30. So this thing that big sport, you see people doing some of it. Even basketball, children can go on the football field before the game start. They be doing we take it for fun. That big money making event in Europe and around the world. So in Europe, where they got good waves, like Norway, we don't have too many good waves. So, but they got surf clubs. And then people, they do competition. Everything they want make and do competition and get money. So Liberia got some very good place to surf. So they, according to information we gather, they have been participating in some competition. They were in Senegal, was that? Or Gambia, I think Senegal. And Liberia came third place. So then Liberia now can host that program. And on the 25th of May, Liberia will be hosting the West African surf competition. So then Sunday will be hosting, that's why they're practicing within their own, local groups. So there are different groups now in Cape Town right now as we speak, and they're competing. So the strongest teams from there will be able to represent Liberia when Liberia will be hosting different countries for surfing. And that will be in Grand Cayman country. So this alone, they can bring money to Liberia. People will be working there to cook. People will be selling things for those foreigners, those strangers that are coming to buy. So, all these things can create money. Competition, it can create money. So, that's what we wanted to talk about. But as it appears, I don't think we'll be able to have Peter here. But we may have them to talk about after the competition, because it may not be able to come on tonight. But after this competition, maybe before the big one, which will be on May 25th comes, we'll be able to talk to Peter and then he tell us what Liberia expects to do. What do we as Liberians? This is our way of helping to promote tourism. This is part of tourism, because you're going to have tourists coming. You're going to have people coming to compete. And all the people that are coming to get money in their pocket, they'll be spending it, all kind of way. They'll be selling little shala, somebody can call it shala, that money there in your pocket. So, we want to help them. This is our own way of helping them. We don't have money to give them, but we can promote a program so a lot of people know about it and go there. So, guys, I don't know what you guys think. We should be thinking about closing now. So, we just talk briefly about this war and economic crimes go tonight. This will be the topic for the next few weeks, and I know as time goes by, there will be new development. By the way, the president left for America today to attend the Africa Summit. So we hope that there will be some good news from there, guys. Anybody get anything to say before we close?
Well, just want in relations to the surfing that is going on in Liberia. I think my understanding is that I think Liberia is ranked, I think, sixth place in the world for surfing, especially that destination in a particular area in Cape Mount. It's an opportunity for Liberia to harness, take advantage of it, and then to boost our tourism industry. We have to have the good weather. We have, an ideal coastal, regions, coastal. So I think it's an opportunity for Liberia to use to tap into it, and and create another stream of revenue for our people and employment.
Mm-hmm. Get
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. Like Francis said, we are ranked somewhere high because it's not only of those that are surfing, but the surfers there are also ranked because Liberia has not been on the front page. But for the little short period that they could navigate and get themselves to where they are, yeah, I'm proud of them, and I say congratulations to all of the surfers in Liberia and the surf clubs there, and trainers, those who are adding value to it as well from outside Liberia. We say thank you, and yeah, for whatever the competitions they are competing in quite recent time, and this current one in West Africa and Africa. Yeah, I wish them well. And we have the ocean. Honestly, we have the ocean. We have the water for it. And that zone is also one of the worst surfing zone. So Liberia, that place is unique. I think also it will open up the corridor for investors. It will also open up the corridor for government to now start looking at either having Sport as a new capital for Liberia, or a new tourist sector, and develop that area. We need infrastructure development there because when people go to these kind of competitions, they need hotels to lodge at. They need the kind of food, they want, the Western food, the African food, the mixtures of food and culture, and entertainment as well comes in. Yeah. So if you see Gambia, you see Senegal, the reason why they host these events is not only because they have the water, like bro, our ocean is very fine. It's very fine. So but they host these things because they have the facilities. We need those facilities as well. In Grand Cape County, example, if a billionaire now in the world wants to watch this competition, it- definitely he's going to be skeptical because he's looking at security risks, he's looking at where to lodge, the kind of facility, the need five-star hotels and those kind of things there. So it will open up, and I'm proud of them. I say congratulations to Liberia.
Thank you very much. I share similar view with you guys. This will create revenue for Liberia. I've been to Cape Mount once. I was supposed to be specific once, and man, I will tell you. Guess when I went there? I went there during the wartime. Joaha was traveling as first lady, and we accompanied her as press people. It was the very first time I went to. It was my second time going to Cape Mount. I've been there once before, but we went to bury somebody, but that was not that palace. There was a place called Sinje where we went before. That's a different area. But this trip we went to Ravospo. And entering Ravospo, brother, I mean, my mouth was open. I didn't know that there was anywhere in Liberia looking like that. I mean, natural white saint. And there were trees that look, the canopy look like umbrella that you can put chairs under the tree and just sit down there. And it's not too high. And I was asking, did people play this? He said, no, it's natural. Oh
I
no.
know, I know what you're talking about. That place, like growing up, we're reading about the savannah, right? You're reading
Yes,
about the Sahara, the savannah. I mean, that place is so unique. France is just like in the Caribbean. Some places
that's
in the
it.
Caribbean, yeah, it's unique. The trees there are short. It's just from the road before Sinjay, because Sinjay is the first bigger town in Cape
Yeah,
Mount County. The first very big one you come from Monrovia that you will see that Sinjay.
yeah, that's the first
The
big
rest
town.
of them are small areas. So the place, friends, said the road from the main road,
Yeah,
from
going
the
in.
highway, it goes in. And it's like maybe 13 to 20
Kilometers.
kilometer road or so, but it's great. And when you see the vegetation, bro, I drove there before with some white people, and as we're driving, you can see monkeys coming. You can even give them fruit, like it's a natural park. The place is unique. The trees
It's
are short. It's too unique, man. Cape Man, we need to do something about it there. It's
I tell
unique.
you. And they have this hotel called, I don't know, Hotel Wakala or something. And but it was damaged. But I think they refurbished it. So hosting some of these events. That's why that's why I got my interest, and we decided to talk to this guy. But it's not late. We'll still talk to him. We'll fix some special time, and then we'll come on the show. And we need all these people that are running behind government jobs. Some of them are talented. If we have all the activity taking place in Liberia, a lot of them can go there. Then we'll have less burden on government. We got tennis players, we got football players, we got surfers now. Soon we'll have NAFO players. Liberia got something. You know that kickball, Liberia is not country in the world that got kickball, which is the African version of baseball. So, but we're not promoting some of these things. Our July 20 we normally play kickball, and then Norwegian people asking us how you discover the game, how you manage, so there are things that we need to promote to help relieve the employment burden on government. But we hope people in authority will begin. And where's the youth of sports? I mean, I call it what you call it, Minister of Youth and Sports. Where are they? What are they doing? These are some of the things that should be going, selling. No, there is a lot of opportunity we're missing. But again, we don't want to hold ourselves here for a very long time. Francis, we want to say thank you very much, Guy. We also want to say thank you very much. The two of you, not too well. I understand, but at least you made the time to come here. So we'll be here on Tuesday with a fresh edition of the program, and we hope that by that time we'll have another guest, or we may bring back the guys from the something, because by that time their competition that is going on now will be finished. We'll know who the winner is, and we'll know who's going to represent Liberia from that competition that they do now. So thanks a lot. And
Before we take leave, I just want to remember the bereaved family in Liberia, the Wentos family, and the political party as well. We extend our condolences.
McDonald, man.
Yeah,
McDonald, man. I mean, wow.
And
that's a great loss.
I tell you.
Yeah, McDonald went to my man.
The guy, was he in the ANC?
No, United People Party, Baga Mafi Party, man.
The UPP.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I
regular Morel ball.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But, this is life, and can you imagine the ANC lost 2 people right away? The other time, Sata Thompson died just before the election. Then, the other woman, but this. Comfort Abu may also rest, and my sympathy on behalf of the Borderland Liberia to the family. This is a lady she commented on our watching closing argument. She commented like today, 2 days after they said she died, and I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. She commented, so she will not say to that knowledge. But this is life, guys. We're here and we'll be going one day.
Man, before we go, can we play the promo for the May 25th event?
Yeah,
inform our people.
That's exactly what I thought about to find, so we can play it, and then encourage people to know that there is something happening on the 25th of May. Let me find the. But just in case, while we find it, just in case anybody wants to go, you can contact the organizers. You can contact Francis here. Francis is the president of the European Federation of Liberian Associations. It is the group that is organizing this whole thing. Let me see.
Francis, where are you? Sweden. Hello Diaspora Liberian is the consultative meeting of Liberian entrepreneurs and professionals in Europe, brought to you by AFLA. It's all happening in Antwerp, Belgium, May 25th, 2024, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., Landstraat 102, and it's by invitation only. Don't miss out. Welcome remarks by Mr. Francis Mensah, President of AFLA. Overview of the program, Ms. Emily E.S. King. Our topics and speakers are
Honorable Alex Gonti, Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Liberian Diaspora Community. Mistress Leona Alsa, Policy Advocacy, Civil Engagement and Professional Development. Mr. John M. Branell, Investment Opportunities in Liberia and Professional Development. Mr. Kuku Wisse, Skills Transfer and Mentorship. Brain Drain. See you in Antwerp, May 25th, 2024. Our proud sponsors, Chroma Corios, Alpha Arise from Sham, Patient Bawi, Afi Susu. Other sponsors are Liwini, Tulizin, and Spice It Up. Other sponsors are the Bottom Line Liberia, Afisi. Augustus God Tume, Spice It Up, and A-Plus.
Okay, so folks, that's it. You're gonna meet us in Antwerp. So if you live in Europe and you're thinking about where to go that weekend, you can come to Antwerp. And it's gonna be great. And I think EFLA is trying to bring people together, the Liberians in Europe together, to put their heads on one thing, that is to try to help back and to create job opportunity for Liberia. We're not saying we'll find job for people or we'll carry job to people, but we're looking for investors. We're looking for a way where we can encourage people to be able to go and see how we can help these people instead of just talking politics whole day that carry us nowhere. But Francis, you guys are the one organizing this thing, and so I mean, when I say you, it's all of us. But when I say you, you're the president now. The thing is always on the shoulder of the president.
Yes, I mean, again, it's audible. It's a consultative meeting involving Liberians, professionals, and our entrepreneurs in Liberia, in Europe, and see how we can network and create avenues to help develop our entrepreneurs and our professionals. They will share their experiences they have in the business, the challenges, and the professionals will speak on different thematic topics that we have for the evening, for the day. So it's going to be great. We're going to have one of the speakers from the United States of America, Alex Gonti, who was the acting, he was the vice presidential candidate to Mr. Edward Weddy Appleton. So it was a host of speakers from across Europe and United States of America. So come and and be part of the experience, and see how we can help shape our Liberian businesses and groom our professionals in Europe.
Okay, so on that note, we let you say thanks for watching, and if you are joining us via Jala TV, we want to say thank you. Next time, please invite a friend, and we can all have the information together as we share them and as we also take them in. On this note, have a nice day and goodbye.